Look, here's the absolute biggest trap in golf retail right now. You do not need to spend triple your budget to actually play better golf. Walk into any golf shop today and you'll see walls packed with brand new iron sets priced way, way beyond what any weekend golfer should realistically spend. But before you buy anything, later in this explainer, I'm going to show you the one thing most buyers never check when hunting for budget sets, and it literally costs them every single time. So stick around because we're going to fix your buying strategy right now. So what's the single mistake that turns a sweet $300 deal into a total disaster? Well, the core money problem here is marketing hype. Every new model out there claims to be longer and easier to hit than last year's, right? So what happens? You've got guys buying the newest set, hitting month 2, and feeling that massive wave of regret because they paid for features they're never going to use. On the flip side, others grab the absolute cheapest thing they can find online without checking the flex, length, or condition. They end up with clubs that actively fight their swing. That is not saving money. This is exactly where most golfers waste money. Before you spend a single dollar, you need a rock-solid plan. Let's look at the real numbers for a second. When you put this year's $1,000 set head-to-head against a 2-year-old $300 set, you have to be realistic. For the average everyday player, the actual performance difference is tiny. I mean, barely noticeable. But that price gap? It's massive. Tour-style lofts and pro branding rarely help you out on the course. What actually helps drop your score? Cavity backs, wide soles, and hitting hybrids instead of those unforgiving long irons. That's where you see real results.
Section 1. 3 routes to buy.
Let's break down Route 1, the brand new complete set in a box. You know the ones: Callaway Strata, Wilson Profile SGI, Tour Edge Bazooka. Golfers absolutely love these because it's just one super easy purchase. You get a matched set of game improvement irons, usually some forgiving hybrids, and a factory warranty right out of the gate. Grab the box, head to the tee. But here is the real weakness you've got to watch out for. The shafts are stock. They're usually built with one single flex that's supposedly meant to fit absolutely everyone. If that one flex doesn't match your specific swing speed, the entire set is going to fight you from the very first swing. And this is exactly where most golfers waste money when choosing Route 1. Some of these box sets are priced right up against high-quality used sets from major premium brands. You always need to check the current market price before pulling the trigger. If a box set costs about the same as a slightly older premium set, you have a really tough choice to make. Do you want brand new condition with a warranty, or do you want the superior feel and way higher resale value of a premium brand? That brings us to Route 2, previous generation game improvement irons. Honestly, this is where massive value hides. We're talking 2 generations back from top-tier names: Ping, TaylorMade, Callaway, Mizuno, Cleveland. Think along the lines of the Ping G Series, TaylorMade M4, or Mizuno JPX. Whenever a brand new model drops, retailers heavily discount the older ones to clear shelf space. A few years old does not mean bad. It just means you get a proven, heavily tested design for way, way less than its original price tag. Now, the cheaper option is not always worse. Here is the catch. Used prices change wildly depending on the condition, the specific shaft, the loft, and whoever is selling it. If you can find one of these older sets under your $300 budget, it is an incredibly strong value pick. But if the price of that older set is creeping up way too close to the brand new model, compare them carefully. Paying almost new money for a previous generation set is a massive error that completely ruins the value of this route entirely. Then we have Route 3, the clean used set. This route easily gives you the absolute most iron for your money. But you have got to do your homework first. You're getting incredible tech, but condition is everything. A worn-out, mismatched set from some random stranger online is a total trap. Do not buy based on price alone. You have to watch out for fakes, worn-down grooves, and mismatched sets. So how exactly do we avoid those traps? Section 2, Smart Buyer Checklist. Let's run through these fast, practical tips so you don't waste your cash. If buying used, this next point matters a lot. You absolutely have to inspect the physical condition of the clubs before handing over a single dollar. Buying from somewhere with a clear return policy, or at least getting honest, high-quality photos of the faces and soles, is totally non-negotiable. Here is your strict visual inspection list. First up, check the faces. The grooves should still have sharp edges. That is where your spin comes from. Next, look at the soles for any deep dings or heavy wear. Check the small plastic pieces right above the club head, the ferrules, and make sure there are no cracks. Confirm every single club matches. Same model, same shaft, same flex. Finally, check the grips. If you buy a $300 set but have to immediately replace 6 or 7 worn-out grips, That eats up real money and instantly destroys your budget. Plan for fresh grips on any used set. It's the cheapest improvement you can make, but you've got to price it in up front. Another major tip here, decide what full set actually means to you before you even start shopping. A 5-iron through pitching wedge is the standard, but do you want a gap wedge or a sand wedge in there too? A lot of used sets are missing clubs. If you have to go buy a sand wedge separately later on, that's extra out-of-pocket cost. Always compare apples to apples on price. Now let's shift the angle again and get really honest about who these clubs are actually built for. Section 3. Buy, avoid, or upgrade. So who should actually buy these? You should definitely pull the trigger if you're a beginner getting your first real set or a weekend golfer who has never been fitted and just wants reliable, forgiving clubs. If your budget is tight, spend those savings on range time lessons and green fees. That's what actually lowers scores. It's also a super smart pick for returning players and mid-handicappers who want some help on those off-center hits. Now, who should avoid this? If you're a lower handicapper wanting workability and feel, a budget game improvement set is just gonna fight you. Also, if you already play a recent game improvement set, buying a cheaper, older set is just a sideways move, not an upgrade. Here is a huge warning, and most buyers skip this and regret it later. Fit still matters, even on a strict budget. Length and lie can usually be adjusted pretty cheaply, but shaft flex is much harder and way more expensive to change. If you are unusually tall, unusually short, or just have a super fast, strong swing, do not just grab the absolute cheapest set off the rack. Buying without a fitting plan is a bad idea. Sometimes getting the right fit at a slightly higher price easily beats getting a great price on the entirely wrong clubs. Section 4. Better value alternatives. What if you don't fit perfectly into those first 3 routes? Well, alternative 1, look at direct-to-consumer brands like Maltby or Lazrus. They sell game improvement irons straight to you, completely skipping the retail markup. You get a lower price, and you can sometimes even pick your flex or length. Alternative 2, build a set club by club. Buy 6 or 7 matching used irons individually. Yeah, it's a bit more work, but you control the condition and the shaft, and you can just skip buying the clubs you never actually hit. Alternative 3, look for hybrid dominant sets, like the older Cleveland Launcher HB. This is huge if long irons are your worst enemy on the course. And finally, if you aren't in a rush, just wait for season-end sales at the big box stores. Patience is a budget golfer's best friend. Section 5. The final value verdict. We are at the end of this explainer, so let's get right to the definitive conclusion. Before you buy, you need to hear this next part. For most everyday golfers, getting budget golf irons under $300 is absolutely the smartest move, but only if you buy the right ones. The absolute best overall value winner is this, a clean, used set of a well-known game improvement model from just a few years back. Here are your strict rules. Buy if you find a 5-iron through pitching wedge with matching clubs, decent grooves, checked in person or with honest photos, and at a price that actually leaves room in your budget for fresh grips. Skip it if the clubs are worn out, mismatched, or if the seller is asking a price way too close to a newer bottle. And if you want brand new with a warranty and 0 hunting, a complete box set from a known brand is the safest start. Bottom line, do not overpay for features you don't need. Buy forgiveness and fit, not marketing hype. Now I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below and tell me, what is your actual budget for a full set of irons? What's your handicap? And what gear are you playing right now? Are you team new or team used? I read every single comment, and your answers help me pick exactly what to review next. If this explainer saved you some cash or helped you avoid a bad purchase, hit subscribe. We drop new budget golf gear reviews and smart buying guides every single week. Thanks for following.